Hello everybody and welcome once again to the RDL show. It's week 7. There are only 2 weeks left of the regular season. With the catch-up matches being settled, we have a clean slate going into the finale of the season. Realistically, we have 3 teams fighting for the top 2 seeds in the playoffs, with LA Latias, Sky Strikers and Orlando Oshawots sitting at 5-1. The Sky Strikers facing off with the Oshawots this week, and the Latias facing a Drop Bears team desperate for a win to keep themselves in playoff spots. Below them, we likely have a battle between 5 teams for 2 spots in the playoffs. Yeah, 4 Woobats could still turn things around and sneak in. That looks very unlikely, with the surging Gothitels and Darkrise looking the most likely to take those spots, and the Drop Bears and Latios not giving up without a fight. Let's take a look at the Week 7 results. Penultimate Party 0, Gothenburg Gothitels 2, Sky Strikers 1, Orlando Oshawots 2, Denver Darkrai 2, Welsh Woobats 1, New York Latios 2, Sandy Connor Squad 1, Golden Gate Goldengo 2, Blazing Brelooms 1, Down Under Drop Bears 0, LA Latias 2. Riverside Otters 2, Durham Dragalges 0. Unfortunately this week, due to technical issues, we're missing replays for Penultimate Party versus Gothenburg Gothitels and Sky Strikers versus Oshawots. So, because we don't have all of the games, I won't be going over my own match. For that Denver Darkrise Welsh Woobats match, take a look at the video linked in the description below. So, we only actually have 3 games to go over this week. And I didn't want to, but I have kind of picked a game of the week this week. So, let's start off with Shim rolling out the Chainsaw Squad to deal with Starstreak and the resurgent Blazing Brelooms. Game 1, Murkrow proved why I believe it's the best non-legendary Tailwind Mon, laying the foundations for Urshifu and Thundurus before being taken out. With the Little Bird having set up Tailwind and the Rain, the 2 legends step up and go to work. Pochita missing a crucial player up on Urshifu likely cost Shim the game, as Chainsaw Man himself came in, spun the swords, but despite living 2 Surging Strikes, it was taken out by a Wild Bolt Storm, sealing the game for Starstreak and the Brelooms. Game 2, Shim's Makiaki lead of Iron Valiant and Sneasel deleted Starstreak's Murkrow Hariyama in a fantastic first turn. Murkrow may have been gone, but the rain still came through Thundurus, boosting the speed of its partner Beartick. Starstreak unfortunately revealed the Terra Water a turn early, allowing Shim to read the Terra Blast and switch in his Azu, taking it pretty comfortably. Makiaki was ultimately able to start and finish this match, forcing a Game 3. Game 3 was a huge power flex on both sides, with Iron Valiant picking up a double KO turn 1. Thundurus with a double KO turn 3, with Urshifu picking up a KO and being KO'd in between. Katana Man, however, came in and sealed the match for Shim with a crunch. Next up, Feathers versus Keegachu. Down Under Drop Bears versus LA Latias. 2 of the best built teams in the league facing off. A really high stakes matchup. The Latias looking to keep a vice grip on that number 1 seed, and the Drop Bears needing a win to be comfortably in the playoffs. Game 1. Turn 1 KO of Pinch Urchin who had been such a huge Pokemon for Feathers all season long, might be key in this battle. New signing Espeon set up both screens, adding to the already incredible bulk of the Latias. In the end, the bulk and recovery of Iron Hands was simply too much for Enamorus to overcome. Game 2. Hold on. Nasty plot. Terra Ice. Quagsire. Oh no! It's a Zoroark! Unfortunately, by the time Keegachu got rid of Iron Jugulars, Espeon had already set up both screens and Trick Room, allowing Mudsdale to come in and trample Zoroark and Enamorus, sealing the match for Feathers, ensuring the battle for number 1 goes to the wire. With there only actually being 3 sets of highlights, I think it's probably pretty obvious what I've picked as Game of the Week this week. New York Latias versus Santa Connor Squad. This match, I just couldn't keep my eyes off it. It took me 3-4 attempts just to get notes for the highlights. Game 1. Tauros was so good here. Cleaning up the Venomoth after Grumpig had almost knocked it out. Then it lived the no retreat boosted close combat from Phalanx and one-shot it with a close combat of its own. Feels really weird to call Flutter Tinglu the backups, but the backups came out and wrapped things up for TCL. Game 2. An incredible comeback from space. Unusual to see Basculegion on lead duty, but it outlasted absolutely everything. Thrown out liquidations until it had that nice power boost, the last respects, and one-shot the previously thorny Tauros to seal the game for space. On we go to Game 3. Surprising switch-ups on both sides. Seemingly perfect choice from space in the Electros, with it being immune to Tinglu and threatening the Tauros. Fortunately, it didn't quite have the damage to KO that bulky bull, and the double up from Tinglu and Tauros took out Space's big threat in Phalanx. Crit luck may not have helped TCL get rid of the eel, with body press from Tinglu crit in turn 3 and a Raging Bull taking it out with another crit turn 4. The dynamic duo finally dropped to an E-speed last respects, keeping a match that had been so close from the start of Game 1 to a 2v2 in Game 3. Nails are disappearing the world over right now. Unfortunately, Basculegion is already low, and a Dunsparce Shadow Ball was able to clean it up, giving TCL the advantage. Arcanine is able to remove Fluttermane with the Flare Bits, but the Caterpillar was able to grind it out thanks to the Flare Bits recoil, sealing the match. TCL. And with that, the penultimate week of the regular season is in the books. Realistically, we have our top 2. The question is, which order is it going to be? The Orlando Oshawotts could still take that number 1 seed with a slip up by the Latias, but I think the Sky Strikers are probably out of the race now. Below them, the Golden Gate Goldengo and the Denver Darkrai have sealed their spots in that playoff bracket, but we still have a pretty close run thing for those final 3 spots. Realistically, I'd say the Santa Connor Squad have their playoff spot locked down, but Portman Party, Down Under Drop Bears, Gothenburg Gothtails, and the New York Latios are still in with a shout. Technically with a 2 2-0 defeat by everybody else, the Woobats could make it in, but let's face it, it's not going to happen. Our season's over. We're just playing for pride now. Week 8 is going to be very, very exciting for those middle of the table teams. As always, next week we will bring you the results and the highlights, as well as breaking down that final playoff bracket. And there might also be a little surprise. So, till then, goodbye.